They need this victory here today. They've lost their first two games. Shane Crawford, number 9, the reigning Brownlow medalist. He's been in pretty disappointing form in the opening 2 rounds. And I reckon that Peter Schwab, who's a first-season senior coach, will be desperate to get his first win on the board as a coach. And there'd be no better time to do it for memberships, for season support and everything than for the Hawks to do it here today. Let's have a look at their squad.
Well, you mentioned before Shane Crawford, who's been averaging just 10 possessions a game.
He won the toss for the Hawks, and they'll go left to right in the first quarter. Stephen Carey starting in the ruck for the Lions. Baldhead coming in from the right. Beau McDonald on the bench. Salmon beats Carey. Solid tackling in the middle. Hart gives chase for the Lions. Showed good courage and was crunched in the tackle, but it was in the back, ruled the umpire, and it goes against Daniel Chick. Hart takes it by hand. He goes to Scott from half-back, across the half-back line to Michael Voss, back in his All-Australian form last year. Kennedy off the left boot, high and long to half-forward. Hawthorn have the numbers 2-1. Colliker in front of the pack, number 23, and recovering. He gets the ball away to Bolton, and the Lions coming forward again through Power. Forward to full forward. Lynch didn't fly for the mark, stayed at the front. Salmon hacks it out of there, and fortunate to get it out. Colliker in trouble. A chance for Power. Kick smothered. Ball spills down. Black, high to the goal square. Knocked away and just over the line. No score.
It was a very strong tackle by Daniel Chick. It was a very tough quarter last week between Carlton and Hawthorn, that first term, very physical. And Hawthorn maybe to prove a point today. They've started poorly. They won their 5 games towards the end of last season. The big fish, he was in doubt before the game, hit straight to the front. It was a dangerous tap. And finally forced through for a behind for the Brisbane Lions.
And about 100 metres away, Daniel Chick still giving the umpire heaps for his ruling on that tackle.
Jade Rawlings to bring the ball back into play. Played the last 6 games in '99, mainly in defence. So they're looking for him to step up and be a key position player. Barlow, second season of AFL football, is quick, kicks the ball wide. He was looking for space and finds Crummell. Famous last year after being crunched by Byron Pickett to centre half forward. Out comes Thompson in front, down at ground level. Good play here by the Hawks. They come away. Crow punches the ball back inside 50. He's looking for Holland. He may have been held. There was no free kick. Leppage on the burst. Rockets the ball to Scott. The old firm combined. Centre wing MCG. Scott 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Great piece of shepherding. 65 metres out to the square. Bradshaw can't get it. Went to the ground. Lost control. Pushing the ball on was Rawlings. He was held. Quick snap by McRae. Magnificent goal for the Lions.
Well, he picked it, there was just no daylight between the posts. Craig McRae running towards the boundary line on his left foot. There's not a more difficult goal than that. That's just magnificent.
The proverbial impossible angle. This will be an interesting view. Is there room between these goalposts? Well, there's not, but he found it. Wonderful start by Craig McRae. Bounce in the centre. Cricket pitches have been removed and replaced by turf in the middle. Vandenberg gets the hand pass away. Crummell to Crawford. All at Hawthorn hope that Shane Crawford revisits his Brownlow form. Kick goes wide to Holland, who's been in great touch in the first 2 rounds. He's thrown over the boundary line when he hasn't got the ball. Free kick to Nick Holland. Too far out to score. Lead in short by Chick. He ignores it and goes long. Ball flips to the back. Here's a bit of a chance. Hurried snap for goal by Bateman, the first gamer. And through for a minor score. And he had the sort of angle that we saw McRae have, but Bateman couldn't quite get it. Chance Bateman, number 48 in last year's draft, and represented WA at senior level last year.
Leppage to bring the ball back into play. Won 11 of the last 13 games, the Lions. Lawrence still squeezed up in the back pocket. Can kick a goal when he goes forward. So they're just sharing the ball around. Scott dropped a sitter. Enough time to recover, then just pumps the ball back towards the half-back line. Big fist away that time by Holland. It was good play, taken away by Harford. Hitting the pack hard, he needs to play well. Dixon couldn't quite take it on the half volley. He's a dangerous player. The young man from Assumption has kicked the goal.
Well, Aussie, the first 2 goals of the game, as good as you'd want to see.
There's no doubt there, Dredge. You'll see on the replay, they say fortune favours the brave. He attacked the ball, kept his eyes on it. That was the most important thing. Obviously, a left footer, perfect angle for it. A la Craig McRae. Probably not quite as difficult an angle, but nonetheless, a very good goal and a good start for Hawthorn.
Ben Dixon getting the Hawks' first goal, celebrating his 50th game, and what a way to start it. Ball spills out towards the wing. Darryl White, the hand pass away. Scott up towards half forward. Is that a push? No, the umpire pays the mark. And he might have been a little fortunate to get away with it. Barlow. Voss can't mark near midfield. Lappin fumbles. He was going to take a free kick. Advantage goes to Black. To full forward. And Lynch marks right in front, 40 metres out. Alistair Lynch, who missed the opening match of the season because of the heat on that Monday public holiday against Carlton. And here he comes. He tossed the coin past the 200 game mark. We look behind him as he drills truly. Old teammate of yours, Oz.
Yeah, good to see him up and firing too. Obviously, he's had a lot of problems with chronic fatigue over the years. These days can't play in the heat, and Alistair will be very happy to have an easy chest mark and a good start to the game. And a great shot too. Straight through the middle.
Well, into his 13th season, Alistair Lynch being picked up by Graham today. 316 career goals. And there's Bo McDonald on the interchange bench, and Adam Huskers, surprise starter on the bench as well. Salmon to Rock, who's been in good form, 33 possessions last week. Tumbles the ball back towards the edge of the centre square. Here comes the Brownlow medalist in Voss. Some fancy footwork. He was caught by Bateman. Loose ball caught high was Lappin. Weeds his way out of trouble. Pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Good punch away by Colliger. Strong defensive play. Ashcroft got the bounce he wanted. And the space. 65 metres out. Lynch in front. He was held. There was no free kick. Bradshaw goes to ground. Graham with quick hands. They'll share the ball around. Harford stands and delivers. Crawford's loose. He's going to leave it for Rawlings and heads back to the wing. Great running by Crawford. He summed it up magnificently. Plays on quickly. Loose player. Crow down from centre half back. Point of the square. Tumbles it into the forward line. A lot of carry. He's missed. Through for a behind. He's a runner.
He is, and it's good to see those guys coming down from the back line. Good signs early, KB, for Shane Crawford, getting a bit of the ball.
Couple of kicks already to the Brownlow medalist. Justin Lepage to kick in for the Lions. Hasn't got his partner in defence, Jason Ackermanis, today. Last minute withdrawal. Long kick by Lepage, well outside the 50. Comes to the front of the pack. Kennedy sweeps a 20-metre hand pass to Michael Voss. He goes for a bounce. Nobody coming towards him. Now he draws a man and pops it over the top, where it's taken by Bolton, playing his third game near the boundary line. 45 out and hits the post. Good effort.
Yeah, normally not the best option from that tight angle, KB, but probably no options. Lynchy did make a half lead, but probably the best option at the end of the day, and as we saw it hit the post, so he's only just missed.
Lions by 6 points. Crowd and Salmon the targets. Rock the crummer. Crow volleyballs it onto Harford. Inside the centre square is pulled off the ball by Powell. Will take the free kick. They'll run hard out of defence, the Hawks. Crummel from 50. He'll be caught. Too slow.
Yeah, lucky there, Brendan Crummel. He actually should have. He was on his left foot. You'll see on the replay here, Kate. No, actually, you won't see it on this replay. But prior to that, he was on his left foot. Needed to kick on the left. Went back into trouble. Could have almost been holding the ball, but luckily he was pushed in the back.
Just too much force in the back there for Crummel, who can be a goal kicker. Has kicked 5 goals in a league game at his third league club. West Coast and Fremantle from right on 50. Brendan Crummel has missed. Through for a minor score.
2-2 to 1-2. Lee Matthews from the coach's box. Always gives us his time before a game. Seems pretty relaxed. Premiership coach with Collingwood, then a stint with us here at Channel 7. Long kick again by Lepich. It works to the back of the pack. Down goes Black. Kennedy's been prominent early. Comes to Lappin. Down the boundary line, it might be over. It is. Out of bounds on the full. Hawthorn's free kick at left half back. To be taken by Rawlings. Squares the ball into Crode, who's worked down towards the forward line. Actually had a shot at goal. Trent Crode represented Australia last year in the Test series against Ireland. Half back to half forward. Holland. Well done by White. The punch was worth a kick as it comes down to the front. McRae works it out wide. It comes to Hart near the boundary line. Can he keep it in? Well done. Magnificent football. Stephen Carey back to Hart, who just got back into the field of play. Inside the 50. Lynch waits at the back. It's punched to the front to Crawford. Crawford looking a lot sharper today. The delivery towards the outer side. He gives it up to Lappin.
It's a good point that you make, Drew. Crawford picking up some early touches. Looks a lot sharper. There has been some talk he's been suffering from glandular fever. Voss from 55 out. Salmon getting back. Free kick. Well, I would have thought there was a free kick. Big. Now you can see Salmon here with Alistair Lynch now. Surely that's a free kick to Alistair Lynch.
Yeah, the umpire had an unhindered view of that too, KB, so just missing an obvious free kick.
Well,
there.
I'm 200 metres from the action.
Yeah, you think the umpire would have a better view than us.
Graham short to Rawlings.
There are free kicks on the forward line and free kicks on the back line. There's no doubt about it.
Good point, Drew. Good point.
So important that Rawlings does come on this year, takes that next step. Arthur caught in two minds, backtracks. Rawlings. He'll be caught. Great chase, great tackling. So a chance for the Lions, running with the flow of the ball. Stephen Carey feigned the handball. Centering kicks, great one to Ashcroft. Directly in front, he'll be shooting from 45. Well, Rawlings just got his boot to the ball. Stephen Carey here did it well.
Well, it was good vision, KB. He could have easily just turned around and blasted for goals, but out the corner of the eyes, he's seen Marcus Ashcroft alone and just chipped it around his body, and a perfect, almost straight in front shot.
Playing his
straight through the middle.
165th consecutive game, Marcus Ashcroft has popped it through.
Oh, well, I was happy to call for the free kick for the tackle, but you reckon he just got his boot to ball?
Well, if he disposes of the ball here by hand or by foot, well, then it's okay, and just touched it with his boot.
Yeah, just a kick. But the umpires don't get a replay. They've got to call it on one side. 3-3 to 1-3. McRae, Lynch and Ashcroft, the goal scorers for the Lions, and Dixon for Hawthorn. Well, neither ruckman got a hand to it. The ball's flipped out of there by Black. Ashcroft inside the 50, and Crowe takes the mark, playing on Malloy. Gets away from Malloy just. The hand pass is good. Barlow. Long to Holland. Good punch from behind by Kennedy. Comes to Harford. Wide open spaces now for Salmon, who marks 45 metres out. Well, he can kick goals. He's kicked over 500. He doesn't attempt it this time. In short to Crummell. Great play by Paul Salmon, and good delivery.
Also, it was good play by Justin Lepich on the mark there. Salmon had Thompson alone in the forward pocket, probably 20 metres by himself, but Lepich just put enough pressure on so he couldn't play on quickly.
Well, Lee Matthews thought there was some doubt about Salmon playing. He thought he might be a late withdrawal. But here he is, mid-30s, still going around and still showing class. To set up a goal for Crummell, and Crummell doesn't let him down.
Well, he's a handy player, Crummell. Richard, I've seen him go to full forward on a couple of occasions, and he has kicked 5 goals in a league game, and if he runs down inside 50, he can be dangerous.
He does. I actually prefer him. I think he's more dangerous for the Hawks up forward. He is a noted goal kicker. Has probably played more down back in recent years, but it's probably a good move to have him on the wing, centre forward.
It's a great shot from behind the goals. Gives you a classic look from one goal to the other. We'll see how they all line themselves up at the centre bounce. Salmon thumps the ball forward. Too much carry for Joel Smith. Going to ground was Lawrence. He's tough in close. Harford has pinched it. Also looks a lot sharper today. It's a high ball inside 50. Thompson, second grab. Not paid. Leppage, some strong arm tactics, comes away. Wobbles the ball back towards centre half back. Overrunning the ball with Stephen Carey. Kicked off the ground by Crawford, the big fish. To Bateman, thumped away that time. Taken away by Voss. Tries to drill it. It's a poor kick. It's been taken by Colliger. The Hawks out to prove a point. Bateman playing his first game today. Centre half forward's a good kick. Holland's the target. Crashes heavily to the ground. Lappin tried to tickle it, couldn't do so. Running into the open goal. Quick snap. And missing that time is Vandenberg, in for his first game this year.
Looked a pretty good mark by Thompson.
Pretty close for mine. Because if you've got the ball under control and you actually hit the ground and it forces the ball out of your hand, that's paid a mark. If the jolt of hitting the ground knocks it out of your arms.
And ladies and gentlemen, you better believe it, because he's on the rules committee, Kevin Bartlett. Wasn't a bad centering kick by the first game of Bateman either. Scott works it over the top to Mick Martin, the former Bulldog player. Back he goes. Well, he had to make Scott wait for it. Ashcroft back to Martin. He's weaved a path to the middle of the ground. Now further to Kennedy. So backs have run forward. Kennedy, a mighty kick to full forward. Bradshaw, Lynch, Malloy, they're all there. Rover wanted now. Luke Power. And he takes it over the boundary line for a throw-in. And we'll have this thrown in by the boundary umpire just around from the behind post.
John Barker on screen, along with Angelo Lekas sitting on the bench for the Hawks.
Malloy doing the bullocking. Gee, don't think Barlow had the ball. Went to ground. There was no whistle on the play. Comes to Crode. Kicked by Crode up towards centre wing. Holland. Here's a wonderful mark, Nick Holland. And he's opened the season in fantastic fashion with 6 and 6. High bouncing ball, difficult for Chick. Solid Shepherd at the back. Chick still after it. Second and third effort's good. Scott gets him when he hasn't got the ball. Well played, Daniel Chick. Play on now, says the umpire. Crawford in short. And Thompson takes the mark. And if Thompson kicks straight, they'll hit the front.
Well, he's such an important player. Last year, he looked like he was a star of the future. Kicked 6 goals in the last game against Sydney out at Waverley, and then was dominating in the Ansett Cup before he injured his shoulder.
Nathan Thompson kicking from 51 metres. Still day, breeze not a factor. Oh, Dixon, oh, it does keep it in. Brilliant. But the umpire said he threw it.
Bit of a flick pass.
Martin chips it, is looking for Kennedy, had his back to the ball. Bateman worries him over the line. Looks a sharper Hawthorn, Richard.
They do, KB. Young Chance Bateman, he looks quite quite talented too.
And quite a scoop that time by Dixon. Holland to do the ruck work against Kennedy, taken away by Martin. Back towards centre wing Crode, who's a tremendous young player for the Hawthorn side, 24 on screen.
Well,
the obvious Victoria last year.
KB, I was going to say the obvious difference this week from last week at Optus Oval against the Blues, they're getting the ball into the forward 50, and if you've got guys like Holland and Thompson down there, they're going to take enough marks and they'll kick enough goals. They just need to keep pumping it in there.
Holland from behind, taken by Black. Barlow just gave the ball off to Taylor, to centre half forward, pushed out of the contest with Salmon. Well, he had a suspect groin leading into this game. He got the shove from Kennedy. Lee Matthews didn't think he'd play. And here's Thompson. Now, if Thompson plays well and Holland plays well, they've got firepower up forward to trouble most sides. And Salmon also just relishing a bit of good form early in this first quarter. He's been below his best. He's just going to take a bit of a rest at the moment. And Barker's going to come on for the Hawks. Thompson directly in front. Bangs it through.
Well, he had a shot a minute ago to put them in front, and that was the one that was just offline and was thrown back into the field of play. But this time, a direct shot has put them in front. They lead by a point, Aussie.
They do, and again, as I said, it's a great start. But you have a look at Paul Samming when he come off the ground. He went straight to club physio Barry Gavin. I dare say he may have nicked that groin again. He did limp a touch, and even if he hasn't done it, it's still a problem.
So Salmon has gone to the bench. Groin problem before the game. Is there a slight indication of a limp there? Could be, and a bit of a grimace. Mind you, he's played really well at the start of this game. He's had 5 possessions, 4 hit-outs already. Here come the Hawks once again out of the middle. Just outside the 50, the ball flipped away by Scott, and he follows up, Chris Scott. Solid body work in the middle. Ashcroft comes to Woods. Woods deep inside 50. Holland works it on, but only to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in.
Already in this game, we've seen Crawford, Thompson and Salmon, figuring Hawthorn's are better players in this first quarter, and those 3 players have been missing in the opening 2 games of the season.
Yeah, most important. Shane Crawford's had 6 kicks already. He's playing on Black, who's a very vital player for the Lions, and he's had 3 possessions, just 1 kick. Now here's a chance. Last-minute reprieve here for
Joel Smith.
Joel Smith, and he kicks the goal. Wasn't picked in the squad, but came in when Jonathan Hay withdrew, and that's a first-quarter goal to give him a 7-point lead.
Under immense pressure too, Drew. Have a look at this. He'll swing onto his left. Just here, onto the left. 3 Brisbane Lions surrounding him. Didn't have a lot of time. He just knew where the goals were. That's just something you're born with. You know where the goals are. You know what that's all about, KB, when you play. Just a natural instinct, and just drilled it. That's fantastic.
Hawks by 7 points. Paul Salmon just patrolling the boundary line, and a good goal to Joel Smith. We know he's got brilliant talent. It's just a matter of producing it on a regular basis. So all of a sudden, the gauntlet's been thrown down to the Hawks, and they've picked it up. Thompson on screen. Missed the last couple of practice games and Ansett Cup games. He was a star, but he finds his best form at full forward. And with Nick Holland on the forward line, it could be an upset today. Barker straight off the interchange bench. Crawford caught one high. Crummell feeds it off to Vandenberg. There's a tough nut. It's a hurried kick to centre half forward. Bateman, the high flyer. Martin, who's quick at ground level. Bowled over. Great strong play by Barker. Leaves it for Taylor. It's all set up. And Thompson's got it. Holland says, kick it to me in the square. Holland from behind. He's got it. Well, the kick wasn't spot on, but Holland made enough ground, and being one of the best grabs in the competition, he'll be lining up directly in front. Well, he's booted 12 goals, 6 goals in each of the opening 2 games. Former Norwich Star winner, and one of the guns of the competition. Directly in front. This to put the Hawks 13 points up. The Roar tells the story.
Well, they've kicked the last 4 goals, Hawthorn, and they're getting a bit of a touch-up early, but they're storming over the Lions at the moment.
And it's great to see Nick Holland kicking so accurately. That's now for the season 13 goals 2. In years gone by, you wouldn't have put perhaps dud money on Nick kicking them from 40 to 50 metres out, but last week he kicked 6 goals, kicked very accurately. Again today, it's a great start. And as I said earlier, for them to win this game, they need Nick Holland to be kicking 5 or 6 goals and Nathan Thompson to be chipping in also.
5 minutes remaining to quarter time. 4 goals in a row now for the Hawks after a slowish start. Comes to Taylor. Round the corner he goes to Bateman. This kid from WA. The kick by Chance Bateman. Woods camped underneath it. Leppich went too far and missed it. He left Tony Woods an open door. Woods centering ball to Barker. Good football. Barker just off the bench to replace Salmon.
Well, Richard, I saw Johnny Barker play so well in the Ansett Cup on the forward line. He looks so dangerous because he's a very strong mark overhead. And I think with Barker up there as well, that 3-pronged attack with Barker, Thompson and Holland, that's what they had during the Ansett Cup.
And the good thing about Barker, he does present himself, KB. He's 6'2", 6'3" in the old scales, and he is a beautiful kick for goal too, and he's just let me down. Normally he's a good kick at goal, but Didn't take enough steps, and if we see a replay of that, just did not kick through the ball.
Yeah, disappointing effort and missed everything. Didn't get a score. Yes, I think if that was a golf shot, that's out in the trees. Go back to the tee and play a provisional.
White kicks the ball long. McDonald got a shove out by Barker. Well picked up by the umpire. Bo McDonald just playing his 9th game. Clark Keating injured. And of course, Clark went back to Adelaide, so a lot hinging on the shoulders of young Bo McDonald. Crawford picking up possessions. Back to Crumble, try to drill it. Well intercepted by Martin. Gets support from McDonald. Fancy work by the big man. Got support from Martin from centre wing to the half-forward line. Crowed over the top, always hits the ball hard. It was good play by Hart, kept the ball alive. Black, magnificent to Eustace to Hart, inside 50. It's a centering kick. Voss looks dangerous. Bradshaw was a high fire. Power rockets the ball back. He was looking for Bolton. Vandenberg does well. Under pressure, he needs support. Power, tackled by Vandenberg. Inside 50, a chip kick. Hart's going to hit it hard. Great tackle by Crawford. The captain leading from the front. Taken away by Vandenberg. The roar goes around from the Hawthorn supporters. This is more like the Hawthorn spirit. Taken by Smith, wobbles the ball inside 50. It's a bad bounce. Magnificent tap on. Dixon needs a bounce. Runs into the open goal. He's got a push. It's either a goal or a free kick. He's kicked a goal. He's got 2.
Well, that was clever, the tap to the back. He knew Dixon was running past, and if he hadn't kicked the goal, he would have got a second chance at it. And that is now 5 in a row for the Hawks since the Lions last kicked a goal. Hawthorn displaying spirit. They lead by 19 points after being 3 goals to 1 down early. Ashcroft just gets boot to ball. Hawthorn working in numbers, coming like a swarm of bees. Black for the Lions, up towards full forward. Lynch can't mark. Play on. It comes to Graham. Lynch's opponent out wide to Crawford, who's had a magnificent first quarter. He's coming up for his 8th possession. Not a great kick. Set a task to Joel Smith. The ball was knocked away. It comes down. Black eventually. His kick towards the 50. Eustace is on the ground running past, hoping to get it. Lawrence the hand pass. Intercepted by Crowe. Here come the Hawks again. 2 1/4 minutes to quarter time. In the middle, Crawford. Back to Woods. Crawford might get it back. Woods to half forward. Oh, magnificent spoil by Darryl White. Chucked himself horizontally at the ball. It comes to Barker. Barker opens up the forward line. This is an irresistible force at the moment. Barlow across the half-forward line. Not a great hand pass to Holland. Don't know why he didn't kick it. Crawford sprints after it. Concedes some ground. Somehow they're back behind the centre circle. Colliker out wide to half-forward. Dixon can't take the mark but follows up. Well done, Ben Dixon. White is there, though, to flip it up to Ashcroft.
Comes away from half-back. Tallis backing back. Has got it. Well, if Crawford was suffering from glandular fever, he's cured.
Give me the fever.
Crummell. Those long arms on the stretch. He's on centre wing. This will be great for the Hawks' confidence. To centre half forward. Holland is always going to be the target. The big fist away was by Kennedy. It was great defensive play. And Crowe, well, he is going to be a magnificent player for Hawthorn. Strong and quick, attacks the ball, plays it on its merits, and unloads a big bomb right inside 50. Holland coming out was Lepage, thumps the ball back 20 metres. Ashcroft all tied up, caught high.
Ashcroft has tried to mark that ball. It was punched. He has dead set tried to mark it, surely.
You reckon he thought it was a kick?
I think so. Went
Goes
as far
wide.
as a kick.
It was a beautiful kick out wide, been marked by Lynch. Too far out the score. 2 kicks from goal. Bradshaw says, kick it up. It's going to drop short. In front was Colliker. Well, he's been a handy pickup from East Fremantle last year. The handball was poor, but the ball is coming back. Just a few seconds left in this opening quarter. Graham stands and delivers from half back. Holland in front. Stuck the backside out. It's non-stop football by the Hawks. Joel Smith. Voss over the shoulder. No free kick to check. Kicked off the ground by McDonald. Quick hands back to Woods on 50 as the siren sounds. Great opening quarter at the MCG. 6-4-40 the Hawks. Brisbane Lions 3-3-21.
Well, it was 3 goals to 1 Brisbane, and then the Hawks kicked 5 unanswered goals to finish the quarter. And who would have thought that at about the 10 or 12 minute mark?
Well, a coach will...
In the second half of that first quarter, Salmon wins in the middle. It comes down to Bolton. Bolton's kick towards the 50. Barlow backed himself to get through and lost the bet. Colliker paddles the ball back. Oh, Rawlings threw out an arm and Huskis went down. The crowd not happy. And Huskis is going to get the free kick. Well, the academies are next week, aren't they?
Yes.
Is he a late nomination?
He was caught high, but...
Yeah, made absolutely the most.
Overacting?
Here goes Huskey. Just inside 50. Beautiful kick. Started the game on the bench, was a bit of a surprise to us. Got on late in the first term.
You just have a look at this ball. He's just... Rawlings, he just hasn't gone through the line of the ball. He's tried to grab that ball 3 yards off himself so he can get around Huskis, and just hasn't gathered possession, as we saw. Perhaps drew an Academy Award job, but it was a bit high, thus paying the free kick and paying the ultimate price. Huskis puts one through.
And we can see Jared Malloy sitting on the bench there, along with young Shannon Rusker, playing his first game. Just on the senior list on Thursday night, coming off the rookie list and straight away into the action. So they must have a high opinion of the young Aboriginal boy from Darwin. Now the whistle is gone. The Hawks lead by 13 points, 6-4-40 to 4-3-27.
Throw by Lynch.
Young Rusker has got a good football pedigree, though. He was captain of the Teal Cup side for Northern Territory in '98 and also a cousin of Darryl White. So there's some talent in the family.
Crummell to the half-forward line. Joel Smith, 55 metres out. He's pushed it left and through for a behind. Be keen to play well today, Joel Smith. He was dropped leading into this game, but recalled at the last moment when Jonathan Hay couldn't take his spot in the side. So Joel Smith, wonderful young player with St Kilda before injuring his knee, just trying to resurrect his career with the Hawks. Just 12 months back from that knee reconstruction. Lepage kicks the ball wide. White does well. It was clever play back to Voss. Centre wing pumps the ball inside 50. Lynch in the front position, and strong arms, strong hands, strong eyes.
2 kicks to there, and a third one might be a goal. That's not bad use of the ball.
Now Bradshaw's lead was ignored. Alistair Lynch kicks a high ball. It's going to land in the square. Salmon backs back, and he's done it so well so far, Paul Salmon. He's made certain that every high ball that's come into the forward line, that he is there. There's Lynch playing in front of Rawlings. So a boundary throw in, a chance for the Lions, just 10 metres around from goal. Salmon will push this to the front. They'll pile on top, taken by Graham, who kicks it through for a behind.
An interesting stat that came out of the first quarter, guys. Hawthorn 29 marks to 7, Brisbane, and 25 of those 29 were uncontested. So that'll tell you one thing. Brisbane at this stage aren't prepared to do the hard running. Hawthorn are.
Inside the 50, but they get away with it. Tallis the hand pass back. Comes out wide to Graham. Half volley, Harford. Good tackle by Hart. And Vandenberg couldn't control it and walks it over the line. Well done, Sean Hart, who gets a pat on the head from the Brownlow medalist, Michael Voss.
It's interesting to see the headgear worn by Sean Hart. Just recently there was a survey by doctors and medical fraternity suggesting that the helmet is of no use to you whatsoever.
I wonder if it helps kicking goals. He lines up, he doesn't go for the score, he goes to the top of the square, and Bradshaw marks. Daniel Bradshaw, who was a star early on. He kicked 6 and 7 as a teenager back in '97. And we've hardly seen him since. In fact, last year, he didn't even manage an AFL game. But has he started this season well with 11 goals in the first 2 rounds. And he hits the post. And that was so tight, he could nearly hit 2 posts from where he was.
Well, I thought he would have just opened up the angle a little bit then, Richard. I think that he came in on a straight angle, but just at the last moment, maybe a slight deviation would have helped him.
Particularly when you're that close to goal, KB. You often try and kick the ball a bit too hard when you're that close. So more often than not, I tended to just run around on a bit of an arc and just that natural swing into goal.
Rawlings kicks the ball down. He was looking for Salmon. Rock hits the pack hard, does it well. To Crode, who loves to run. He'll have a shot from centre half back. Trent Crode unloads. It's a big kick. Unfortunately, through for a behind. Well, he's going to kick 2 or 3 goals in a game one day from centre half back, Trent Crode. Lee Matthews looks on. He'd be a little bit concerned. The confidence is rising in the Hawthorn camp. Losses to Collingwood and Carlton. And their performances have been a little bit insipid. But today, they look very sharp. Voss finds Scott at centre half back. This is a lovely kick to Hart. Front edge of the centre square. It's quickly into the forward line. Bradshaw's in front. And a good mark. That was great play by the Lions. A Hawthorn player unable to touch the ball.
It's good vision there by Shaun Hart. He took that grab, but didn't sit back and was happy with the way he did things. He played on very quickly, straight in front of Daniel Bradshaw. And I'll tell you what, he looks like he's put on a few kilos over the pre-season, Bradshaw. He looks $1 million.
45 metres out, a 45-degree angle. And this time, he's kicked a goal.
See those Lions fans there, and you're not sure whether they're young children who've been watching Brisbane Lions play on telly and like the way they play, where their fathers from way back followed Fitzroy. A lot of Fitzroy people have stuck, Ozzy.
Yeah, it's good to see a few of the old Fitzroy brigade still following the Lions.
The Lions have kicked the opening 2 goals of this second quarter to narrow the gap, and you almost wonder whether they just like giving the opposition a start. Bulldogs led 7 goals to 2 last week until the Lions finished all over them. Lawrence at the foot of the pack. Couldn't get his hand to a ball, say the crowd. There's no whistle on the play. Joel Smith's hand pass out of the air. Crawford. Harford got it from Chick. He's lost it. Black. Spiral torpedo by Black to half forward. It gets to the back of the pack. Tapped out by Graham. Colliker spun out of the tackle. Hand pass away to Crode. Crode keeps it low. Beautifully delivered. Harford takes the mark. Crawford over the top into space. Crummel 55 metres out. Back for Harford, who outstretches Hart. Harford, good kick. Beautiful use of the Sherrin.
It's a great passage of play by Hawthorn. They always had a player there to help out. They kept running down from half back. They were an irresistible force on that occasion.
How's the bodywork there by Harford too? It was hard to pick it up on the replay there though, but that Brisbane Lions guy was right on him. He just sort of eased his body back just a touch so that guy couldn't tackle him, got around him, and just perfect vision to Nathan Thompson.
Thompson, 40 metres from goal. Kicks his second. And there is spirit in this Hawthorn side. They're coming from all over the park to say well done to every player who was involved down that centre corridor.
Well, Shane Crawford has continued his good form in the first quarter. He's had 12 possessions and 2 marks. And Harford is another player who really needs to play at a much higher consistent level. Points, 2 goals to Nathan Thompson. He's just looks like he's getting back to that form he showed during the Ansett Cup and late last year after injuring that shoulder during the night competition. Here's Crawford. His confidence is going up. McDonald in foreign territory at ground level to Power. Paddles the ball along in front. Crawford, the chaser and tackler. He's got him.
Crawford started that tackle about 40 metres away.
Well, the Brownlow medalist has got on the half-back flank. Tied up Luke Power. Here's Crow. He'll be exhausted if he keeps these runs out of defence. Kicks long. Holland. You can see it happening. Here's one great mark. Thompson's on a lead in front. Pushed under the ball that time by Lepage. Crossed the face of goals that time. And finally marked in the last line of defence by Mick Martin. Playing his 50th game today. This is a good kick to Black. He's having a big duel with Shane Crawford. Black has had 7 possessions. Crawford has had 14. Power. Real comer last year. Booted 17 goals in the last 11 games. Around the corner. Lynch. Big and strong in front. He's hard to get around. He's a big man. Bradshaw's going to be the target. Takes the front position. Thumped away that time by Rawlings. Barlow did well and opens it up to Dixon, who's booted 2 goals, but he's on the half-back flank. Young man from Yarrawonga pumps the ball in. Crummell knocks the ball away. Lawrence dives on top of it. Bolton shovels the ball back out to Kennedy inside the centre square. Wobbles the ball inside 50. Big pack of players. Bradshaw over the top. Wild kick off the ground by Lynch. Lappin tries to squeeze it out to Power, who kicks a goal.
The Hawthorn backs, they just didn't clear that zone enough. The ball was kicked in quite high. You'll see this. Crowd, I think it was, yeah. Just needed to just punch that ball horizontally to the boundary line. Great vision too by Luke Power. Probably not the prettiest kick of all time, but didn't have a lot of time. Just showed great poise, straight on the boot. Bit of a wobble there, but 6 points is 6 points, boys.
Lynch off the ground for the Lions, replaced by Malloy. So maybe they've decided they can't have Lynch, Malloy and Bradshaw all on the forward line. Ball back in the middle. Beau McDonald, number 43. Crawford. I think he's now on Michael Voss in the middle. Crawford's going to... comes out here to Vandenberg from Rock. Up towards half forward. Punched by Kennedy. Joel Smith, number 11. Dixon's there. Dixon paddling the ball for himself. Martin after it. With Chick, the 2 number 17s. Mick Martin somehow gets the ball across to Lawrence. Kicked by Lawrence over the wing. Chick gets a very bad bounce. Ball paddled in. Comes to Crawford. Cornered, but gets away. Comes wide. Smith. Kicked by Joel Smith. In towards Holland at half forward. Punched on. Chance for Dixon. Wants it to sit for him. 7-point lead here to Hawthorn. He is buried and will take the free kick.
Yeah, good decision. High. Good decision there, KB, by the umpire. You have to protect the man going for the ball, and particularly you have to protect his head. It just was too high.
Was that Mick Martin, number 17 for Brisbane, or number 4 for the Kangaroos? There was a touch of mighty Mick about that one.
The Lions just seem to be playing a bit more direct this quarter, boys. In the first quarter, they led in handballs 28-3, but at the moment, only 2 handballs to Hawthorn's 19, so they're obviously going a bit more direct.
So Dixon to extend the Hawks' lead. Virtually no breeze getting to the players down at the playing surface. Sensational day in Melbourne. Sensational day for the Hawks fans if the Hawks can get up. That is a magnificent kick. A hat-trick to Ben Dixon, the former goal kicker from Assumption College.
Well, there was another great Hawthorn man, number 19, now adorns the commentary box with us, Jason Dunstall, with Ben Dixon, three first half goals and more to come, hopefully, and that's just a beautiful kick. Natural left footer. He's got the beautiful kicking style. You could just tell as soon as that left his boot, he was a happy boy. Well done, Ben Dixon.
Nigel Lappin has gone to the bench. Ben Dixon has booted 3 goals. He looked to be a star of the future a couple of years ago. Had a lot of injuries last year.
Can you do that? What McDonald just did?
Inside 50, Hart playing in front. Malloy off the bench. He can kick uncanny goals. This time it's bounced left and through for a behind. Hawks by 12 points. They're led by 19 points at quarter time. Jared Malloy on screen. Big, strong, clever. and is a goal kicker. Rawlings. He's got the job at fullback. Goes for Crode. McDonald. 6'7", thumps the ball down by Power. Sets it up. Ashcroft should kick a goal and does. He's got 2.
There was always going to be a risky kick out from fullback, KB. I don't know whether the Hawthorn fullback saw it, but Bo McDonald just hovering, 6'7", 6'8", over the top of Crode and just slammed the ball back into Luke Power. And you called it perfect kick by Ashcroft. Didn't have a lot of daylight in front of those 2 sticks, but drilled it perfectly.
Daniel Harford on the interchange bench also for the Hawks.
He's had 9 positions. Rock also sat down. He's only had 6. At the last centre bounce, Bo McDonald virtually straddled Salmon's head. And he's gone up early again this time. Hawthorn fans not too happy with what the youngster's doing in the middle here.
First gamer.
Yeah, doing well, Ruska. Hawthorn. Crawford paddles the ball up the ground. The whistle's gone. Michael Voss has gone down holding his head. He got a bit of a sandwich. When he went to ground, a shin came across him. And I'm sure he expected to see blood flowing, but Michael, you're okay. 1 straight kick the difference. Hawks lead.
Little crowded here, Drew. You look back from where Voss is backwards. There's no one in that half of the ground.
36 players in one half of the ground. Still room for Power. He got the elevation okay, but it was away to the right. And a minor score. He's kicked 1-1 in this quarter. 5 points the difference now, as Hawthorn are 8-6 to 7-7.
Justin Leppage was playing full back. He contested the mark 25 metres out from goal for the Brisbane Lions. Now he's on his way back now. He's running all the way back through the centre square, all the way back to full back.
We talk about Crode having runs from centre half back. Leppage can kick goals from full back. Oh, solid clash with the goalpost. Bradshaw across the face of goal. Hart. They might scrounge a goal out of this yet. And back it comes to Bolton.
Well, there must have been a lack of talk of the 2 Brisbane players in the goal square, because that was an absolute gimme about 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they wouldn't have talked at all. They just bumped into each other. One of them could have quite easily shepherded for the other guy and just walked into an open goal, but obviously no talk at all there, KB.
Well, Rawlings tried to hit the ball back through the behinds and didn't make the line.
Craig Bolton to put the Lions in front. They lead by a point. Almost very costly, with McRae coming in at 100 miles an hour.
It's just the comedy of errors. One that Rawlings has played on from fullback, kicked it too far in front of himself, then tried to hit it through for a point, didn't manage that. The 2 Brisbane Lions, as we see here, crash into each other. But at the end of the day, they've kicked the goal. They're back in front.
Well, Bolton, just in his first season of AFL football, has played the first 3 games for the Lions. We talk about the spirit of Hawthorn. The Lions have got plenty of spirit as well. We saw that last week when they trailed 7 goals to 2 to the Western Bulldogs, and then completely outclassed the Bulldogs after that. And today they trailed by 19 points at quarter time. Now they've hit the front by a point. Ball up inside the centre square. Salmon. Great tap to Tony Woods. So he'll just pump the ball inside 50. Kennedy. Tackled by Holland. Keeps the ball alive. Scott. The old firm combined. Coming out is Power. Too close to the line. Out of bounds on the full. Tallis. Famous for Derbert Brereton standing on his head. Getting 7 weeks.
It'd be shocking to be famous for something like that, wouldn't it?
In a practice game.
Yeah. Just lying on the ground, somebody treads on your head.
From centre wing. Put it in front of Holland. He's done well. It was a lovely kick. Beautifully weighted. Didn't have to actually break stride, even though Kennedy was with him. It's impossible to stop. Thompson says kick it high. Here comes Thompson. Got his hands on the Sherrin, just couldn't hang on to it. Kicked off the ground. Taken by Voss. It opens up. Gives it across to his brother. Through the centre square. Kicks the space. The race is on. Malloy against Crode. He'll kick it off the ground. Well, he kicked some remarkable goals off the ground. On this occasion, not to be, but I tell you what, Crode is quick, and Malloy surprisingly quick in that contest.
Looked like he had it spent before he had it then, KB. Could have quite easily have taken possession, but great work by Crode. As you said, perfect running ability. It's so quick.
That was great to watch, wasn't it? Two blokes really fighting to the
like a 100-metre sprint, wasn't it?
Just like at the Olympics, just throwing a football. Colliker to Crawford. Crawford's up to 17 disposals. Back to Woods. Oh, get rid of it. You're gone.
Do they chase hard, don't they?
It's young.
This is Rusker.
Shannon Rusker, a 19-year-old, just elevated to the senior list during the week. Gets it away to Bradshaw, just forward of the wing. 2 points the margin. Brisbane lead. Kick by Bradshaw. Plenty of distance. Malloy. Crode in front. Black. Oh, well played by Black. Great football, you beauty! Oh, he's a class act, isn't he? The recruit from East Fremantle.
Just the poise to here of young Simon Black. He could have easily just slammed that onto his left boot, but just a really interesting thing for young kids listening. If you can straighten up, it's a lot easier to kick direct at goal than around your body. He's done that. Great work, Simon Black.
Simon Black on screen. The Lions lead by 8 points. 7.5 minutes left in this second term. Beau McDonald, just in his 9th game in the ruck against Thompson. Having a run in the ruck as well. Taylor couldn't get rid of the ball.
Shane Crawford, a great start with 17 possessions, but interestingly, only one of them has been inside the forward 50. He's making a lot of effort in the midfield, but not penetrating the 50-metre line.
McDonald, I know Lee Matthews got a big opinion of McDonald. Speak of the devil, there's Crawford. Finds Woods on the half-forward line. Holland was held, surely.
Yeah.
He's in front, Nick Holland. That's one of the great attributes he's got as a player. Very rarely does he come from behind.
The thing with Nick Holland too, KB, once he is in front, very hard to stop. One of the strongest guys in the league. When he gets his hands to the ball, rarely do they knock it out.
He always presents himself. He'll take big marks when he's got to run at it, but he does play in front. Makes it very difficult for his opponent. Holland from 45 metres out. This is a shocker. Well, he's kicked 13 goals for the season. 13 goals, 2 prior to that kick. Paul Salmon again on the bench. White. Low kick. He's looking for Lepage. Black just starting to have an influence as well. It's a wild handball. Taylor should pounce on centre wing. Closing quickly was Voss. Back to Graham. They backtrack and retreat to Trent Crode, who comes away from half back. The loose player has been set up in the centre of the ground to Tony Woods. Kicks a high ball. It's one for the high flyers. Thompson hits it hard in front. Again, just couldn't hang on to the Sherrin. Voss was knocked off the ball. Shoved out by White to Kennedy. The Brisbane backline is working hard now. Taylor from 50 on the burst and closing. Richard Taylor pushed it right. Through for a behind.
We had the goals in his sights from a long way outside 50. Mick Martin to kick in for the Lions. 5 seasons with the Bulldogs. Asked to be traded. Clears the 50. White got very high. And he flipped it over the back to Lepage. Lepage, the full-back, kicks to the full forward. Malloy took it well. Now Malloy penetrates the 50. Oh, you can't do that, Colliker. And this will be a free kick within goal-kicking distance.
Gee, for a man of his size, Malloy is very, very agile and quick.
It's very strong too, Jared Malloy. He's probably one of the strongest pound for pound in the league. Shades of the Spring Carnival there too. Drew rode him like a horse.
Yeah. Straight kick here to put them 2 goals in front after they trailed by 19 at quarter time. Already the Lions have kicked 6 goals to 2 in this second quarter. McRae's kick just makes it. Well, it was all Hawthorn late in the first quarter. It's been mostly Brisbane in this second.
Great pick up that on the half volley too by Malloy, and a very good left foot kick. And there's a silly fly by Colligan.
There was always going to be a free kick. Up too early. Did everything wrong. And Craig McRae, you can't give him an easy shot. He'll drill it every time.
Lee Matthews will be a little bit happier than what he was at quarter time. Ashcroft is off. Veteran of over 200 games now, playing his 165th game on the trot as they continue to come forward. And there's Michael Voss marking in front of Graham. Well, they've got 8 individual goal kickers so far, the Brisbane Lions. And that's the sign of a good side. In the late 90s and now in 2000, you've got to have a number of goal kickers revolving around the forward line. Very few good sides rely on one key forward. Voss from outside of 50 leans back and pushes it left through for a minor score.
Yeah, Hawthorn's about the only club that's had a century goal kicker in premierships, the likes of Dunstall, Hudson. But you know, Lockett didn't play in a premiership, Ablett didn't play in a premiership, McKenna, you know, there's a lot of them.
Well, that was one of the criticisms down at Geelong, wasn't it? That if Gary Ablett didn't fire on grand final day, he did when he booted 9, but in the other grand finals he wasn't a really good player. That, you know, scoring power just dried up. So now it's generally accepted that you need a number of players in and out of the forward line to kick your goals. 8 individual goal kickers to the Brisbane Lions, 5 for Hawthorn in the game so far. Lappin has had a spell on the interchange bench. It's a centering kick. Danger here for the Hawks. Big fist away. They'll need a crummer. Graham has been playing on the forward line in defence today. Tallis in front. Make that check. Kicks it off the ground. It was clever play. Lappin overruns the ball. Got a shove as well. Crawford kicked into Beau McDonald. Power on hands and knees. Great presence of mind. Flips it out to Black. Back to Lappin, edge of the centre square, and drills it. Here's danger. McRae, a thumping kick to the goal square. Voss looks dangerous in front. Bradshaw should have taken the mark. Kicked off the ground by Hart for a toss back in. Well, bad miss that time by Bradshaw. It dropped short. Just couldn't hang on to it.
Wasn't the spoil that put him off. He had plenty of time. Chance for the Lions, though, from the boundary throw-in. Barker has the kick smothered. They swarm around there, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. 3.5 minutes to go to half-time. Well, last year, in the game in Brisbane, the Hawks led by 33 at half-time. Brisbane kicked 9-4 to a point in the third quarter to overrun them. Crawford turns in, comes to Vandenberg. Clears the 50. All Brisbane, and that's an excellent mark.
She's a promising player, Beau McDonald.
Yeah, and you know that he didn't play football at all until 1996.
That's an amazing story, success story.
So Kennedy can kick it a country mile, but didn't get the goal line from there. So he goes out towards McRae. Didn't have the height on Colliker. Comes to Woods. Round the boundary line he goes. Holland roaming far and wide. Nick Holland, and he's got a bit of room. Kicks back to his own position to centre half forward. It clears Dixon, and the Lions get back in numbers. Lepage running off Dixon. Kick by Lepage. It wobbled a bit. Went past Lappin at centre wing. Crawford and Black. Crawford missed with the hand pass. Comes back for another go at it. Left and right. Crowed. Crawford now up to 21 possessions in less than a half of football. Through goes Dixon. Dispossessed. It spills down. A hurried ball towards full forward. Comes to the back to Holland. Back he goes to Mark Graham. And Graham's left footer misses to the left.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, Mark Graham. He had both Chick and Richard Taylor who could have sent the ball to. Took the second option and missed what could have been an easier goal if one of those boys had a set shot directly in front.
Brisbane by 12 points. Alistair Lynch and Marcus Ashcroft on the interchange bench. Just caught a glimpse of them. 69 plays 57. Lepage to bring the ball back into play. Pinpoints it, looking for Bolton. Drops short. Trickles over the line. Actually, a couple of times today, one of their kicking strategies has been to tap the ball on. And it's worked a number of times for the Brisbane Lions.
Requires a better kick in than that, though.
Holland to do the ruck work. Kennedy, give him the points. Taylor trying to bullock his way through with strength. Lappin also ran into a roadblock. Check. The juggler had it and lost it. Players going in very hard. It's tough in close. Good tough passage of play. And a ball up. 45 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. Time clock ticking away. Minute and a half left in this second quarter. There's Simon Black and Crawford. They've had a big duel. The Brownlow medalist has been in good form today. Black has also been a better player in this second term. McDonald, can he make ground? Barker paddled the ball along in front, kicked off the ground by Hart, still inside 50 for the Hawks. Power on the bottom of the pack, loose ball, quick snap. Leckers backing back, he's got it. Justin Lepage, a test of strength that time, wins out over Thompson to Martin, loves the run with the ball. Man from Tasmania at his second club, 2 against 1. Could be a free kick there to Bolton, it wasn't paid, and finally Malloy puts it over. A boundary throw in, and Bolton has hurt himself. Thought he should have got a free kick as well. There he was held without the ball, and he just fell awkwardly. It looks like he may have hurt an ankle.
Yeah, Chris Barlow made sure he was going to take him right out of the play. The umpire comes in, he's going to ball it up here. Well, there's the third gamer.
Holding his back.
It might have been the knee in the original marking contest. He was the meat in the sandwich. Barlow, bang, right in the middle of the back with the knee, and then dragging him, making sure he's going to ground and not going to be in the contest after that. But he's hurt, and the youngster goes off. Bolton just before half-time. Ball back out of bounds. Just seconds remaining to the siren at half-time here at the MCG. And it's a 2-goal lead to the Lions as young Craig Bolton receives attention. Big leap by Graham. Back to the boundary line, and that is half-time. Good turn for the Lions. They kicked 7 goals to 2 in that quarter. And they go in with a 12-point lead at half-time. And Bolton will have the break during half-time to get further treatment on that injured back. He's just a third gamer, taken number 33 in the draft in '98, and he played all last year with the Cubs. Bo McDonald. Umpire bounces at Crawford and Black on opposite sides of the centre circle. It's a bit of a crush there, and the umpire will have to ball it up again. 12-point lead to the Brisbane Lions, who won the second quarter 7 goals to 2. They've replaced the cricket pitches in the middle, so it's a little bit softer for the players. Thompson, clean possession. Gee, well, Paul Salmon would be struggling to do any better than that, and Holland takes the mark. Great start for the Hawks. McDonald. Umpire bounces at Crawford and Black on opposite sides of the centre circle. It's a bit of a crush there, and the umpire will have to ball it up again. 12-point lead to the Brisbane Lions, who won the second quarter 7 goals to 2. They've replaced the cricket pitches in the middle, so it's a little bit softer for the players. Thompson, clean possession. Gee, well, Paul Salmon would be struggling to do any better than that, and Holland takes the mark. Great start for the Hawks.
And again, playing in front, Richard.
He's been very good, Nick Holland. They've had Hawthorn and Brisbane in the first half have had 7 contested marks, and of those 7 contested marks for Hawthorn, Holland's had 4 of them. So he's presenting himself well.
Nick Holland for his second goal today. Didn't leave the boot too well and hasn't even made it, and White is marked on the behind line.
Well, that's the second poor kick from a set shot for Nick Holland. Martin Squeezed up in the back pocket. There's a good camera shot from behind the goals. Just shows you what was open to him. So he goes across to Lawrence. So a transfer play to the member side. Draws his opponent to Darryl White, who kicks the ball down. He's looking for Bolton, who injured himself just before half-time. Bowled over by Leckers, who keeps the ball alive. Great smother off the boot by Lepage. McDonald did well. Intercepted by Thompson in the ruck. Salmon on the bench. Barker tight on the boundary line. It's a poor kick. And sets it up to Lawrence. Across half-back. 69 plays, 57. Lions by 12 points. A 31-point turnaround from quarter time when they trailed by 19. Ashcroft to the half-forward line. Big thump away by Collicker, who repeats it. And so does Joel Smith, who thumps the ball back towards 50. Lawrence always hits the ball hard. Great handball to Lynch, who feeds the ball off Black onto that left boot. Wobbles it inside 50. Bradshaw went early. Crawford has been magnificent today. To Harford, they'll share it around Rawlings. It's a poor kick. He was looking for Crode. Bradshaw should kick a goal. He's missed. He just hurried it. He had a little bit more time. And a wasted opportunity.
Well, both teams have had a chance to get a goal on the board at the start of this third quarter. And neither team has managed it. Rawlings to kick in for the Hawks. And Brisbane virtually conceding the first kick to Crummell deep in the back pocket. Now he goes outside the 50. Now they crunch him and make it a contested mark. Did the challenge come late? The Hawthorn fans want a 50-metre penalty. It's not doing so. Leckers to take it from left half-back. Up towards centre wing. White with a run at the pack. Ball hits the back. Dixon for the Hawks. And once again, over the line. Well, we've had throw-ins, ball-ups, a couple of missed shots for goal, as Molly Malloy has a word with Stephen Carey there. Carey, who went to Brisbane this year after a stint with the Sydney Swans.
Ruskus, we saw there, number 29, coming in for Brisbane Lions, playing his first game today. Came on to the senior list, there he is on screen, on Thursday night, and straight away elevated into the senior side. Brad Boyd was put on the long-term injury list for the Lions. Bo McDonald thumps the ball down. Thumped on by the Hawks. Joel Smith. It was clever play. He was looking for a rock on hands and knees. Tried to scoop it out. Vandenberg with strength. In tight. Crummell. They share the ball around. Harford pumps the ball back inside 50. Good grab by Lepage, and that'll be 50. So clean mark here, and then Dixon comes in and knocks the ball out of his hands. So undisciplined play, because now he's kicking from the back edge of the centre square. The All-Australian fullback. And you can see what he's looking at down the ground. This is our camera shot from behind the goals. Lepage won the best and fairest last year with Jason Ackermanis, who pulled out of the side today. In front is Lynch. Too big, too strong that time for Crode. And Alice Lynch will be shooting from just outside of 50. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. His 13th season. Still dangerous. He's booted 316 career goals. So he's directly in front. You can see there, no angle to speak of. It's a good kick off the boot, and he rams it home. He's got two.
Okay, B, that's one thing the Hawthorn side did not need. Being 2 goals down, as we see Lepage kicking the ball down to Lynch. Great hands directly in front. Yeah, they've kicked that goal, allows them just over 18 points in front. It was critical that Hawthorn got the first goal. One thing's for sure now, boys, they cannot afford the Brisbane Lions to kick the second goal of the second quarter. They need to hang in there.
Paul Salmon warming up. Well, Ben Dixon, who's celebrating his 50th game today and kicked 3 goals in the first half, well, he's off the ground after giving away the free kick, which finished up being a goal to Brisbane at the other end. And Peter Schwab wasn't putting up with that straight off. Rocked the hand pass out wide. Comes to Barker. Barker round the corner. Bateman on the ground to replace Dixon. The ball beats him over the line for a throw-in just inside the 50.
Just on that, KB, obviously what Dixon did was a little bit poor, but he has kicked 3 goals. Do you just send the runner out and say, look, that's the wrong thing to do, or rip him off the ground doesn't just...
Personally, I would send the runner out. You've got 2 runners. I'd send a runner out and say, listen, it was absolutely stupid what you just done then, and to wake up to yourself. I don't think it's necessary to actually take him from the field, unless, of course, he does it all the time. Sure. Therefore, you need to be really wrapped over the knuckles. But that's my idea of having a runner. Send it out, let him know you're very unhappy. At the same time, you can keep him on the ground. But here he is, ready to come back into the action.
Looks as though he might only be off for a couple of minutes, and he spent about one of those minutes on the phone, no doubt to the coach, getting an earful. Bounce. Mark Graham wins it. Chick, number 17. Couldn't quite get there. White gets the ball up the ground to Rusker. It clears the cricket pitch area. Good pick up by Crode, who loves going for a gallop. Trent Crode, long to full forward. Well, we know there's no Dixon there at the moment, but the whistle's gone. A free kick to Hawthorn.
Thompson has got the free kick. Daniel Harford is down, is it?
Yeah. So this is back near the centre circle. And players have come from everywhere. You can throw a blanket over about 20 players here. Umpires involved as well. And it looks as though there might have been an incident behind the ball where Harford has been put down. Just have to look and see whether there might be a report out of this. As Thompson kicks for goal for the Hawks. In front, 45 out. And he gets it. He's got 3. Alistair Lynch has been taken off by Lee Matthews. He was being spoken to by an umpire. Now, was Alistair Lynch involved in this? I think bottom of screen, it was Lynch crunching into Harford. So it was all happening way off the ball.
Well, 3 goals to Thompson, 3 goals also to Ben Dixon. Main goal kickers for the Hawks, and for the Lions, 2 apiece to McRae, Marcus Ashcroft and Alistair Lynch.
And again, Trent Crode screaming down from the half-back line. He really set that goal up.
Hawks drag it back to a 13-point ball game. Big McDonald doing well in the ruck. Thompson to Rock. It was clever play. Kicked it off the ground and ricocheted back in the arms of Hart. Short kick. Vandenberg. A real goer for the Hawks. Kicks the ball wide. Rock has worked hard. Just caught under the ball. It was a difficult one floating. Over the top was Hart. He was playing for the free kick. Chick had it and just dropped the ball. Gets a shove also from Simon Black for a toss back in. And Chris Scott says, where's the free? Barker to do the ruck work. McDonald in front. Should get his hands on the ball first and does it well. To Malloy. Some fancy footwork, then pumps the ball inside 50. Bolton is backing back. He's got Leckers to beat. He'll be happy to see it over the line. 11-10, 76 Brisbane. 9-9, 63 the Hawks. Leckers on screen. Started on the interchange bench. Played for Victoria last year. So a chance for the Lions. Malloy pushing and shoving. Taken by Hart. Can't screw it around enough. And through for a behind.
Clever kick just the same by Sean Hart. Kicked the back of the ball and gave its forward spin and a bit of draw. Graham kicks to Leckers, still in the defensive 50. 11-11 plays, 9 goals, 9. 13.5 minutes remaining to three-quarter time. Barker, the man in front, gets the hands free for the hand pass to Harford. Well, he might be still seeing stars, and he couldn't take that one. Finishes up with Ashcroft. Long to full forward, but the ball is chopped off before it could reach Bradshaw by Leckers. He goes towards the southern stand side. Here goes Crode. Get on your bike, son. He's taken some long runs today. This time he's cornered. The hand pass to Colliker. Into Barlow. Hawthorn looking better. Kick smothered off the boot from Barlow. This won't be a mark. Out of the air goes White. It sits for Lappin. He's at half-back flank. Back to White. Over the top to Martin. The Bulldog recruit, Mick Martin. Came from Tassie, but did spend some time in his youth in Queensland. Father moved around a lot with employment. The ball is knocked over the boundary line and we'll have a throw in. 77-63. Brett Voss in the foreground and Alistair Lynch, who was benched by Lee Matthews just after that incident with Harford.
There was a great smother also by Mick Martin when Barlow was going forward for the Hawks. McDonald, too tall, taken away by Rock, caught high, takes the free kick on the half-back flank. 77 plays, 63. Lions by 14 points, 2 against 1. Big fist away. Here's Ruskus, his first game. Some clever play. Didn't panic, then bangs the ball deep in the forward line. Bradshaw is in front. Good punch away that time by Graham. Hitting the ball hard was Vandenberg. The Hawthorn defence standing up. Rock showed courage. Take the VC. Barlow, quick hands to Vandenberg. On the burst, kicks the ball out wide. Joel Smith's got it. He'll run inside 50. And closes. And misses.
Well, all sorts of players further up the ground were disappointed they didn't get the pass, but he was in a position, he had to have the shot, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose another option, he could have drawn the play a little bit more and given it over to Daniel Chick, but in hindsight it's easy to say that, but obviously his eyes lit up and he saw those goals and he went for them.
Bottom line is he should have kicked the goal. Hawthorn lifting, Mark just dropped there, it spills to Malloy, the hand pass to Voss. Beautiful mover, Michael Voss. The Brownlow medalist approaches the 50, one-on-one contest. Bradshaw gets clear of his man Graham to mark. Well, Daniel Bradshaw's kicked 1 goal 2 today. And I did see the round 1 game against Carlton at Optus Oval, and I thought in the first 10 minutes he had about 4 chances to mark and he dropped them. Lee Matthews showed some faith, and he came back later that day and kicked 4, and then last week he kicked 7. So well done, Lee. Well done, Bradshaw. That's his 2nd today. Forgotten man in football after not playing a game last year, and now he's got 13 goals in 2.5 games this year.
Again, we see a backman running all the way. Voss, 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces. He knows his abilities. And the perfect thing there is the way he finishes the ball off. It's one thing taking the ball from one end of the ground to the other, but to finish it off the way he did to Bradshaw, spot on.
Lions by 19 points. Just over 11 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. McDonald does jump high. Thompson just held on to the ball too long. He was just trying to give off the handball. And McDonald, an emerging player for the Lions. It's a high ball. One for the high flies. Bradshaw. Crow comes away from half-back. Kicks the space. Space is on Hawthorn's side. Taylor can't quite get there. In front of Luke Power, who's booted a couple of goals. In fact, he kicked 1 goal in that 2nd term, Power. It was a great snap.
Crawford's had 1 possession in 14 minutes this quarter.
Black took it out of the air. They'll pile on top. The ball up. Now, Hawthorn fans wanted a free kick, but even though he takes it out of the air from a boundary throw-in, he's still got to have prior opportunity to get rid of the ball. And I think we can see there was no prior opportunity. There's nothing to say in the rule book that he has to punch the ball from a boundary throw-in. Voss thumped the ball down. McDonald was clever. Still on the half-forward line. Lappin came up to Power. They juggle it. Tallis kicks back towards the half-forward line. Holland can't get there. Chick was caught under the ball. Kicked off the ground. Here's Crawford. He's got the bounce he wanted. 75 metres out from goal. It's a centering kick. He was looking for Crummell. Just couldn't quite read it. Taken away by Scott. Just tumbles the ball back. There's a free kick. Tallis getting in the back of Power.
Got to be smarter than that. It's too easy to give away frees, isn't it?
To McRae. He can run with the ball. He loves to take them on. Spears that left boot. It wasn't such a good kick in the end. Bradshaw was all tied up by Graham. They wanted a free kick. It wasn't paid. Harford gives it away. Here's Crow again on the burst. Backs himself in and bangs the ball inside 50. Thompson was the high flyer. They need a crummer. Martin stays down. Rockets the ball wide to Voss. He'll set it up. Bang! Crash. Been poleaxed at centre-half back. Inside the centre square. Paddling the ball along in front was Crummell. Crawford comes away from the centre square, drills it, looking for Holland. Second grab, not there. Great recovery. 3 against 1. Martin has been a handy player today. Feeds the ball off to Ashcroft, the veteran, to the running Scott across half back. Crawford attempt to smother. It was a good effort, and Colliger has marked.
Well, they played it between the respective half-back lines in the last couple of minutes. The ball's just been up and back and up and back. Tallis to Crawford, out here on centre wing, into Joel Smith. Oh, clever mark. He's got 2 arms, but only used one.
It's casual.
In space, Chick. The kick didn't quite carry to him. Now he's under pressure. Centres the ball. Thompson comes back. Crummel almost spun around in the tackle. It comes to Holland. Cruel bounce, though. Might have got one in the back. Play on, says the umpire. Kennedy taps to the boundary line. And I think players from both teams will need a bit of a breather here because it's been frantic for about the last 3 minutes.
Well, Holland played for the free kick, and it might have been there, except the umpire obviously was obscured.
12-11 Brisbane, 9 goals, 10 Hawthorn. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. Lappin's hand pass to Black. A high ball just over the wing. Colliker almost. Colliker follows up. And absolutely sandwiched there was Bolton. Well done by Tallis. Dixon back on the ground in favour. Can't take the mark. At the back of him, Leppich, who might have played for the Hawks, grew up in Berwick. Ball comes to McRae. The hand pass into Black. White, not Black, White. He goes with the hand pass.
And finds Voss. And speaking of Black, he's got the ball to centre half forward. Big punch from behind is needed by the Hawks. It was there, pouncing on it is Lappin. Keeps the ball alive. Lynch, 25 metres out. It's a big arc, a big turning circle. It's a quick snap. It's a great snap. He's kicked a goal. He's got 3. The Lynch mob.
Very smart work here by Alistair Lynch. You see on the replay, a great shot to hear from Goodyear Blimp. He could have gone onto his left foot. Perhaps wouldn't have made the distance if he did choose to go onto his left foot. But it just had enough poise there to swing onto his right foot. And a great snap.
Three goals to 1 to the Lions this quarter. And Brisbane certainly have their share of fans here at the MCG today. I'm not sure that many of them have come down from Queensland, but the old Fitzroy mob have stayed with them. The ball is punched out to Lynch. Lynch has got 2 this quarter. He dishes it off. Bradshaw, no mark, play on. And that's how many Brisbane fans are here. Listen to the booing when the mark wasn't paid. Did this carry? Did he hold it? Looks pretty good. Anyway, you wouldn't want to be given out in cricket on that one, so that's fair enough.
So a chance for the Lions. Lynch to do the ruck work. There was some pushing and shoving, and Barker will take the free kick. Lynch a shake of the head. Barker pumps the ball wide. Finds Vandenberg. Doesn't mind a tough in the clinches. Likes to flex the muscles. Harford. Improved form today. Tries to drill it, looking for Thompson, who's booted 3. It's under pressure. That was a great tackle. Come from Scott. Land in the arms of Leppich, who transfers the play to the member side, to McDonald. Kicks a high ball. Colliker could have taken the mark. Lack of torque. Thumps the ball. McRae keeps the ball alive. Now there's an injured player.
Nathan Thompson's down.
Thompson. Now this is dangerous here for Hawthorn, because Thompson, who is their star of the future, their big gun up forward, is holding his shin. Now he was caught here by Chris Scott in this tackle. Now, was that his ankle being caught up underneath, that right ankle?
That could nearly be a broken leg.
Well, Nathan Thompson.
I saw one last week with Lade. I don't want to see another one.
Black having an impact as well. He was looking for Voss, taken by Lappin. A centering kick. Black. Second grab. That's been paid. I'm not quite certain it was there. He may not have controlled it. There's a sad sight for Hawthorn. Thompson being carried off the field by 2 trainers.
Well, up until then, KB, the umpire's been really consistent on those marks or free kicks that have just been either there or not there. But then I wouldn't have paid that.
Let's have a look and see whether or not we might get a replay of it.
Sounds like the crowd have just had a replay and they're not happy.
There's the angle. The camera behind the goals. Black bangs it through
For a behind.
for a point. And that's why the roar goes around the ground from the Hawthorn supporters. Let's have a look at Thompson. Now, two players, Scott closed very quickly on him. I just thought his leg there may have got caught up underneath. That is what appears to have happened. He'd booted 3 goals. And that's a big blow as Martin pumps the ball back for the Lions.
Sure is a blow for them. Ball comes to the front to Raiden Tallis. The kick just outside the 50. Rawlings has it. 90 plays 64, and Brisbane starting to assert some authority over the Hawks here in the third quarter, as they did in the second. Holland. Nick Holland. Actually, he's behind the wing. Crummell outnumbered. It comes to the back to Chick. He needs to be quick. Bolton was quicker. Crummell just buried his face into the turf. No whistle on the play. It comes back to Holland. Mongrel kick towards goal and through for a behind.
It was good play by Chick. He was desperate for the ball, wasn't he?
Great recovery too.
Tony Woods kicked that, didn't he?
Just on Nathan Thompson on that replay, it looked like he rolled his right ankle inwards. You normally roll your ankle outwards, but it just looked like he just tweaked it inwards.
Gee, the spot looked a bit higher than the ankle that they were testing.
Yeah, it looks like they're testing his shin area.
Well, he was hanging onto his shin when he was lying on the ground. Let's just hope that it's not a serious injury. Bolton, young man from Eastlake, kicks into the man on the mark. And the ball forced back over the line. 13-12-90. Brisbane, 9-11-65 the Hawks. So they trail by 25 points after leading by 19 points at quarter time. Daniel Chick on screen. And Nathan Thompson heading off to the rooms.
It's got to be a good sight, though. He's walking. Surely he's limping, but anyway, it's not a season job or a 2-month job by the looks of it.
Yeah, there's definitely no break there. If you've broken a leg, you wouldn't be walking. He's actually jogging now, so we might not see him on the ground again, but certainly not a serious injury.
I wouldn't take too much notice of guys walking off the ground. Tim Watson walked off the ground, didn't play for 2 years. Neil Danaher, I think, might have been another one.
I think so.
Rawlings to centre-half forward. Hollands, the lone gun up forward, is the big white hope, taken away by Martin. Goes short. McRae covers a lot of territory from the half-forward line. He's on the half-back. Here's Voss. It's a great kick. And hard running by Voss, who's been a very good player. 16 possessions. Gives it across to Ruskus, who's dragged down. The Hawks are not going away. Rawlings across to the loose player out wide. It's Dixon, who's booted 3 goals. Rockets the ball 25 metres to half it. He's got heart to beat. Short kick to Barlow, who can carry the ball inside 50. Great kick. Johnny Barker.
Now the Hawks want 2 goals before three-quarter time. There's 3.5 minutes left. They need this and another one.
Well, you said before, Richard, he's a very good kick.
It was in a similar sort of position too, KB. From this pocket, there's always a natural right to left swing. So if he knows the ground, he'll just allow that natural swing and it'll go through.
Now Anthony Rock's coming on the ground. Taylor's coming off, and the big fish is warming up as well. Maybe for a big last quarter. Barker, an important kick for the Hawks. Rams at home.
With 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining to three-quarter time. And the margin's now back to 19 points. Gee, another goal will be handy for the Hawks. Well done, Johnny Barker. Well, the first 2 options in the ruck are Salmon, who's on the bench, Thompson, who's on the bench with ice above his ankle, looks like to his shin. So now Nick Holland is ruckman number 3 for the Hawks. In he goes against Carey, and Carey looked as though he interfered with him. There was no whistle. Dixon up on the ball, gets the hand pass back. The Hawks come forward again. Kicked by Lekas. Punch by Lepic. It sits up beautifully for Woods. The hand pass under a bit of pressure down there. Barker close to the line. Brett Voss to Lawrence. Haven't seen too much of Lawrence today. Kennedy rides a bump. Intercept by Holland. He puts it across the goal square. And Hart touched that ball out, so we'll have a throw in. Another chance for the Hawks.
Well, 11 possessions. Make that 13 possessions to Nick Holland and 8 marks. He's also kicked a goal. So he'll have to do it in the ruck, and he may have to do it up forward as well. Maybe he'll take the centre bounces, then go back to the forward line. Barker being pinched by White. Stands and delivers and kicks the ball out wide. He's looking for Lappin. He's got Leckers to beat. Finally pushes it back over the line for a toss back in. Just under 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. 90 plays 71. 13-12 to 10-11. There's Joel Smith and Richard Taylor also on the bench for the Hawks. It's a boundary throw in between the half forward line and centre wing for the Hawks. Rawlings against Stephen Carey. Falls on top of the ball. He'll be pinged. Because once you fall on top of the ball, you must knock it out with a one action. That's the rule. Dixon, great grab, great stretch. Well, he's a goal kicker. He's booted 3. 2 in the first quarter and 1 in the second. And the young man from Yarrawonga, who went to the famous school Assumption College, has got a chance to kick his 4th.
Well, even though he incurred the wrath of the coach earlier on, he might yet have a chance to celebrate tonight.
Well, there's only a small crowd behind the goals. It might tell the story to get the Hawks back to 13 points. It's going right to the line, off hands, through for a 1 behind. Wasn't such a good kick, Richard.
No, as soon as it left the boot, KB, you could just tell the way it was just spinning through the air. It was just never going to make the distance.
Just didn't hit it flush.
No.
Minute 30 left in the third quarter. White kicks in for the Lions towards the southern stand side, punch towards the boundary line and out for a throw-in. So it's on Hawthorn's forward line. Clock has stopped at 1:22. Lee Matthews trying to plot the downfall of Hawthorn, a club for which he won 8 best and fairest. Incredible record. Clean possession, Nick Holland. He might be the best of them in the ruck, but he lost control of this one. Crawford's been a lot quieter in this third quarter. Lappin gave it away. Centering ball from Woods. Dixon. But grabbed by Martin. Mick Martin goes for distance from a standing start. Punch to the front of the pack. Brett Voss the hand pass. Sweeps it into Rusker. Rusker making his league debut today. He goes longer full forward. Bradshaw one out again. It works to the back of the pack, but support here by Raiden Tallis,
who read it well. Got back to lend support. Rawlings across half back. So it all opens up for the Hawks. Time for think music. The mind is ticking over. Rockets the ball to Crawford, who runs hard at the half forward line. Hart was closing. It's a high ball. Barker. He's got it. He read it well. Well, I saw him in an Ansett Cup game. He played so well on the forward line, Johnny Barker. With Thompson off, Barker now is a key up forward. Got rid of Lepage. Read it better than Voss. And if he can kick this, he will drag it back to a 12-point ball game. Johnny Barker. Played with the Brisbane Lions. He's kicked 1. Directly in front. Hammers it home. The Hawks won't go away.
Well, that's the one they wanted. They trail by just 2 kicks now with 1 second to 3/4 time.
Good centering kick there too by Shane Crawford. It was the only spot he could have kicked it to Barker. He's great body work too on Lepage. Lepage probably had the better position early, but Barker was smart enough and strong enough just to push him off the line at the last minute. Not too early, it would have been a free kick. It was just perfect timing.
There you can see the score, and top left, 1 second left, so there's no more football in this quarter. There goes the siren, but we look set for a great final quarter. Hawthorn, who haven't won a game this year, coming hard at Brisbane in the last few minutes of that third quarter, and they're close enough to be able to get up. And the margins have been 19 points Hawthorn up at quarter time, and then down by 12 at half time and at 3/4 time. Michael Voss having a word here with the umpire, Scott McLaren, with Salmon off with a groin. And Thompson off with an injured leg. Looks like playing in the ruck. McDonald wins. The young 20-year-old could have a big influence, but Rock takes it away for the Hawks. Just 2 kicks the difference. Tapped down by Holland. Forward line, not probably in the ruck. He gets it here from Joel Smith, gives it to Crummell. The hand pass back. Rocket followed up. A high ball towards the goal square. Barker in the middle of the pack. Magnificent! How did he get that?
Well, I like him on the forward line, Richard. I've said that right throughout this game. I think that's where he plays his best football.
Yeah, no doubt. And very strong hands there. But just on Peter Swab, that's a smart move. Very smart move, putting Rawlings in the ruck.
It's interesting because 50 metres then, Johnny Barker. The ball not quite relayed back to him in a proper fashion.
Well, I don't think he'll need 50. He's only 20 metres out directly in front. But I think it's just smart to relieve Nick Holland of his ruck duties. If they're going to win this game, they need him in.
And Hawthorn within 1 kick. Well, that sets it up for a great last quarter.
This chant going around the MCG, and Johnny Barker, is he looming as being the Hawthorn hero? Johnny Barker has booted 3 second-half goals. McDonald's, the big leaper. They're starting to feed off him, the Hawks. Woods pumps the ball back to the half-forward line. Smith Waterburn being pulled to the ground. Lawrence on hands and knees. There's a wild fresh air kick driven into the ground that time. Black over the top of Crummell. Points at quarter time. They trail by 12 at half time and 12 at 3/4 time. They've dragged Rawlings now, heading back towards the full forward line. McDonald's with him. Here's the knock on. Tony Woods, 45 metres out. He's missed. The Lions by 5 points.
Joel Bowden had a similar opportunity last night for Richmond. He ran into an open goal and kicked it behind, where a goal would have levelled the scores. It was a goals. Here goes Lawrence for the Lions, up towards half forward. Maybe Will. Smith tries a little toe poke. Lawrence gets the hand pass away. Comes to Kennedy. Kick by Kennedy towards half forward. Big pack gathers. The punch from behind. Huskis goes to Michael Voss. 1 out contest. Lynch and Graham. Lynch. He's going to get a free kick. Alistair Lynch. Over the shoulder.
It appeared to be there for mine, Drew. I think the replay will show him being grabbed here. Around the throat.
Yeah, about 1 or 2 goes in him. So Alistair Lynch, who's kicked 3 goals. Lions clinging to a 5-point lead. With the advantage of a free kick and right in front. He should nail this. Distance 30. Well, he can give away free kicks, and some are worse than others. But when you give them away there, they kill you.
Yeah, nothing worse than giving a free kick 30 metres out directly in front of goal. Alistair Lynch has been very good for the Brisbane Lions today. That's his 4th goal, so he'll be very, very happy with that return.
Lions by 11 points. Harford out of the centre square. Try to take on the half volley. Scott just thumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Huska's back on the ground, has it punched away. Tony Woods was held without the ball. Should be a free kick. Is it Woods? Tony Woods. "13 possessions today." Kick straight down the ground. Holland is always going to be the target. Scott was in front with strength. Pushes the ball along. Crummell. Hard tackler. Could have been high. Ball up. (14-12-96) the Lions. 12-13-85 the Hawks. Ball up on the point of the centre square. Holland. Salmon's off the field. Nathan Thompson is off the field for the Hawks, losing 2 of their big men. Big doubt on Salmon coming to the ground. Looks like he may have hurt his groin again early in that first quarter. Tony Woods. Huskis the tackler. He got plenty of support from Chick. They backtrack and retreat. Then kicks the ball down looking for Colliger, who's been handy across half-back. Keeps the ball alive. Rock. Great front-on tackle to Harford, who should kick a goal. 45 metres out again. Another bad kick. A bad miss for the Hawks.
Yeah, almost a carbon copy of Tony Wood's miss then from Daniel Harford. This late stage of the game, KB, they need to be kicking those goals.
Well, you've got to be a goal kicker when you're running from 45 metres out without any pressure. You've got to nail them if your side's to win.
Well, the problem is you kick a point, it's virtually a turnover. It now gives the Brisbane Lions a chance to kick a goal up the other end of the ground.
Kick in by Lepic. Big pack gathers, all Hawthorn at ground level. Joel Smith. Great to see him back from his knee reconstruction. Very high ball. Barker's in this again, but Scott comes across the front of the pack to take the mark. Away to Martin. Wide he comes to Beau McDonald. Defensive 50 for the Lions. Just a 20-year-old playing in his 9th AFL game. Kick by McDonald to Malloy at centre wing. Crode's come with him. Crode has some help. Goes in with the hand pass to Daniel Chick. Chick's kick is good to Crummell. They both came from East Fremantle to Hawthorn. Back to Chick. Long to full forward. Barker interfered with. Nearly took the mark and gets the free.
Good decision by the umpire then.
He almost took that mark when the ball bounced off his feet back into his hands. It was almost like a Mark Taylor slips catch, although he didn't get first touch as it turned out. So it definitely warranted a free. And Barker now for his 4th goal. And this would put the Hawks within 4 points.
Has kicked the last 3 goals for Hawthorn too, so he's been very prominent up forward.
Distance not a problem. Angle not too bad. Gets the goal.
Just snuck in.
Well, Chick here went short to Crummell, ran hard. I thought Voss was a bit slow to react in the chasing department then. Didn't realise Chick was running on and dragged to the ground. Is John Barker. Peter Schwab looking for his first win as Hawthorn coach. John Barker, the unlikely star for the Hawks, has gone to full forward. He's booted 4 second-half goals, and the Hawks come forward. They trail by 4 points. It's inside 50. Lawrence gets to the ball first and belts it off the ground to the boundary line. It's the boos going around the ground. It was good defensive play. Paul Salmon's off the field, so is Nathan Thompson. Both injured for the Hawks. They've had to shuffle their side around. Jade Rawlings is doing some ruck work. Crummell over the top. Bolton couldn't take it on the first grab. Vandenberg piles in on top. He wants a free and he's got it. He locks it in tough. Richard Vandenberg kicks to the half-forward line. Here's Barker. Couldn't get it. Taken to ground. Martin on 50. Has to take him on. Gets around Bateman. Finds Kennedy, feigns the hand pass, then belts the ball back towards the centre wing. Rawlings stands his ground. Chick, the big fist from behind. It goes 25 metres back to centre half forward. Coming through was Ashcroft. Good hand pass, finds Martin. He's caught. It's a loose ball. The Lions have the numbers. The bounce of the ball favours them. The handball's a poor one. Black Pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. Malloy was the high flyer. Lappin, clever play. Back to Malloy, who's caught. They'll ball it up on 50.
Gee, they're going hard at it now. Desperation stakes. Hawthorn looking for their first win for the season. And Peter Schwab, who was the boss of the umpires last year, to get his first win as a senior coach in the AFL. Bo McDonald wins it for the Lions. Gains about 15 or 20 metres. Crowed there with Malloy. Malloy trapped it brilliantly. Lappin, well played Malloy, but Lappin pulled off his kick. Croyd comes back, Crowed rather, to Rock. Across the ground he goes. Mark Graham dashes from full back, giving Lynch the run around. Kick by Graham. Good lead by Holland. Magnificent kick by Graham. Lions by 4 points. Harford, he's still back near the centre square. Too far out to score. Loose players everywhere. Graham had followed up, and the spoil comes at the last minute from Scott. Picked up by Dixon, 55 out. A high ball, centering kick. Good punch away by the first season player, Bolton. It's trapped by Rock, who was quiet early. He's coming well now. Woods, good kick. Graham all the way from full back. Deep out in the forward pocket. He's had it about 3 times in this movement. He kicks back to Harford. He gets in the hole unmarked. 40 metres out, right in front.
Well, it was a brave mark. It was an awkward mark to take. I think Graham in the first place should have played on. He could have ran into the open goal.
He did need to play on, but a good option. Harford did present himself, and the kick was there. It was a good kick, so I suppose 45 metres out directly in front's a lot better option than hemmed in there on the boundary line as Graham was.
And Mark Graham's got the long walk back to his position, the length of the ground. Bateman comes off for the Hawks, replaced by Barlow.
And the Hawks, Drew, they're certainly coming home on fire into their forward 59 times to 2 this quarter.
Here's the view from behind Daniel Harford. His attempt to put the Hawks in front in the last quarter. They like it! He likes it! Well, he missed the running shot, but got the set shot.
This is where we thought Graham may have played on, but to his credit, he did steady. Had the poise to just see Daniel Harford there, hovering in the 50-metre line. Over to him, and an easier shot. And Daniel Harford didn't let this team down.
And just to confirm, Mark Graham, who set up that goal, has gone back to full-back on Alistair Lynch. He is 170 metres away from where the goal was kicked.
Well, the Hawks have hit the front. First time since the 19-minute mark of the first quarter. Lappin slaps the ball out. Crawford has been magnificent today, all tied up by Hart. He was held on to for a long, long time. Rawlings has stood up today, pumps the ball back, looking for Crummell. Loose ball on the forward line. Scott under pressure, kicks the ball wide. Oh, high flyer was Malloy. Hart, the crummer, taken away by Rock, who's gone up a notch as well. Here's a chance for Tony Woods. Goes short. Barker's going to be the target. Chipping in his Leppich. John Barker has booted 4 goals in the second half. On screen, when they lost Salmon, then they lost Thompson. Barker has stood up. An unlikely hero. Ashcroft from centre half back. 2 bounces. Kicks the ball deep into the forward line. Looking for Bradshaw. Got his hands on the ball. Taken away by Colliger. The Hawthorn defence is standing up. Tallis short to Rawlings, who's bobbed up everywhere. He's been outstanding today. 5 marks in 16 possessions. Trent Crowd loves to run with the ball, and a thumping kick. Down to 50. Barlow, just off the interchange bench, has just replaced Bateman. They're running hard. Barker hits it. Loose ball taken by Leckers. Under pressure, Barker feeds the ball off to Crummell. He'll need support. Backtracks, retreats. He's looking for Barlow. Pulled down was Martin. No free kick by the leg. Lawrence tried to crash his way through with strength. Taken away by Leppich. Stands and delivers. Pumps it wide. The race is on. It's an important ball. Getting the bounce is Rock. Caught by Ruskus. Crashing his way through was Vandenberg. Bo McDonald. Good hands by the young player. Chance now. Ruskus runs on. Inside 50. Lynch. Big fly. Loose ball. Tallis again under pressure. Back to check.
Magnificent football in the last quarter. Crowe takes a deep breath and kicks over centre wing for Holland, outnumbered 2-1. It comes to Kennedy. His hand pass up to Black on the half volley. Simon Black from the logo. Back to the forward line. Ball knocked down by Tallis. He's after it again. Off the ground. Oh, magnificent to Harford. Harford out to the broadcast wing. Joel Smith on his own. Well, had it spent before it arrived. Wheels around Smith. Long to full forward. A rover wanted. Hart's there for the Lions. He goes for the line. No doubt about that. Bounces it out. And the umpire calls for the throw-in. A 2-point ball game. Hawthorn 14-14 to 14-12. And the crowd here today, 20,374. Pretty disappointing. Just over 8.5 minutes left.
The Hawks by 2 points. Holland been so good today. McDonald, an emerging star in the ruck. Martin on hands and knees. Scott across half back to Hart. Slaps the ball on. Keeps it alive. Lawrence close to the line. Hawthorn rallying in this last turn. Crowe overruns the ball. With strength, trying to rip it out of his opponent's arms. Over the top is Malloy. He wants a free kick and he's got it. Against Leckers. 98 plays 96. 14-12 to 14-14. The Hawks in front by 2 points. Loose player is Lappin. Here's danger for the Hawks. He's a good finisher. Runs inside 50 and closes and kicks a goal. They're in front, the Lions.
Wonderful running goal by Nigel Lappin. And the Hawks will have to do it all again to work their way in front.
Yeah, Lappin there, he was smart enough to know that Alistair Lynch wasn't a viable option. Needed to get those few more metres to make the distance. Went around his man. Great finish, great goal.
8.25 minutes remaining. Brisbane 15-12. Hawthorn 14-14. It's a 4-point lead to the Brisbane Lions. Ball shuffled out by Vandenberg, who is tough in the clinches. He came from the amateurs. Uni Blues. Up towards half forward. Lawrence taken down when he didn't have the ball. There's no whistle on the play. Harford to Vandenberg, the former amateur, across the ground. Bit of space here for Richard Taylor. He can put them in front. Taylor has done. Oh, what a game. First one side, then the other. Who'll win it?
Tell you what, guys, one player that has really impressed me today, whether it's up back or down back or up forward, is Richard Vandenberg. Again, very hard with the ball then. Richard Taylor, the perfect finish, and the Hawks are back in front. They can win this game, boys. And I'll tell you what, it'll be almost an 8-point game for them if they can win this one.
Yeah. Well, just over 8 minutes left in this final quarter. Hawthorn, 104 players, 102. 15-14 to 15-12. McDonald thumps the ball on. Voss was the high flyer. Colliger slaps it on as well. Taken away by Lappin. Backs himself from the centre square. A penetrating kick. Looking for Bradshaw. Chick does well. Got his fist to the ball. Graham would be happy to see this over the line. For a toss back in.
And if they win it, it'll be a coach's victory because he's had to shuffle his players around, hasn't he, Peter Schwab? First season coach. It's not just a case of sending a ruckman out and dominating. Ruckman lasted 10 minutes.
Well, Salmon's off the field and so is Nathan Thompson. So he lost 2 big guns. Rawlings has stood up. So has Nick Holland and John Barker. All been major players in this second half. A ball up on 50. The Hawks led by 19 points at quarter time. Then there was a 31-point turnaround when Brisbane hit back and led by 12 points at half-time. An even third term saw the Lions go into this last quarter 12 points up. They now trail by 2.
In the last quarter, the Hawks have had 63 possessions to Brisbane 35. Nearly a 2-to-1 ratio.
Oof.
McDonald
it's
and
almost
Rawlings.
like having 2 more players on the ground, Drew.
2 experienced ruckmen go at it. Crummell didn't get the bounce he wanted. Lawrence did. And the run of Kennedy from centre half back. It's a big kick. Lynch looks dangerous. 2 against 1. They'll need a crummer. Graham heads for the line. Power. Can't get there. In front of Lekas. Boundary throwing on 50. 15-14, 104 the Hawks. 15-12, 102. Chance Bateman. His first game of AFL football today. Will it be a winning one for the Hawks?
I'll be a happy team at Hawthorn if they win this.
He's good with his hands, McDonald. Hart nearly pinched it. Crawford backtracks to Tallis, who goes short and sets it up. Finds Barlow. Shane Crawford today has found form. 28 possessions. Barlow deep into the forward line. Barker out in front. Lepage magnificent. Read it well. Great hands. Great touch. Rarely fumbles. Pumps the ball back. Unfortunately for the Lions, too close to the line for Malloy, who claps his hands to that man on screen, the All-Australian fullback. Magnificent defensive play. Throw in on centre wing.
Chisley men again for this year on the basis of that. That was magnificent defence. Hawks by 2 points. Just under 6 minutes remaining, and Simon Black's going off with the blood rule. Good heavens. The last time that happened, we never stopped hearing about it for a week. He came down to Melbourne this week for the tribunal with scratches all over his neck. Now, what's the story here today? Just a little elbow graze.
Craig McRae's come on.
Boundary throw in southern stand side. Under 6 minutes remaining. They swarm around this like bees. Crummell down the line. Was it touched out? Yes. So it'll be a throw in. Brendan Crummell, who won his place in the side at the selection table for his first game for the season. He came in with Bateman, a first gamer, Richard Taylor, who just put them in front, and Vandenberg, the amateur from the Uni Blues, who's been terrific. So the selection table did pretty well for them this week.
And Joel Smith, a last-minute inclusion in the side for Jonathan Hay, gives him a chance. Dixon! Well, he has booted 3 goals. And what a kick for this young man from Assumption College. Kilmore, Victoria, with just over 5 minutes left. They lead by 2 points. This to put them 8 points up. Might only have 20,000, but listen for the roar behind the goals, because that's where the Hawthorn supporters are. It will just tell the story. Dixon, 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second. But no kick more important than this. Directly in front, 45 metres out. Look for the reaction. Just shocking kick. It's dropped short, right on the goal line. That's the 3rd time now that he hasn't hit the ball flush. Unusual for such a good kick. Kicked off the ground, goes back. Taylor goes short. Crawford couldn't take it. Voss, the tackler. Crawford weeds his way out of trouble. Joel Smith, clever play, under pressure. Great defensive play by the Lions. Take a bow. Malloy was great with his hands. The ball popped back and Lynch has marked. What a turnaround. Lynch, he'll shoot from 55. They trail by 2 points. 4 minutes left in the game. A wasted opportunity for the Hawks. Alistair Lynch stands and delivers. The distance is there. It's a 1 point ball game. 1 point in it. A great grab.
One point the margin. Well, it's almost like one of the bullies of the national competition against a recent whipping boy in Hawthorn, and finding it tough. In a Melbourne market, they have to share it with a lot of clubs. They've had to move from Waverley to the MCG this year. Crowd today disappointing at 20,000. And if they get over the Brisbane Lions, it'll be one of the great upsets of the season. And we're just 3 rounds in. They lead by a point. Up over centre wing, Holland front position. Good punch by Darryl White. Comes to Ashcroft. Back he goes. Mick Martin. Round the corner, wide for White. Holland's with him. Oh, good mark. Darryl White over the top. Nick Holland might claim that he got a bit of a touch on that, but the umpire paid it to White. Now it's into Lappin. Is this their last foray forward for the Brisbane Lions? There's time left. There's 3 minutes left. Steve Lawrence is in the centre circle. 36 players in one half of the ground. Lawrence goes long. It's crowded down there. Bradshaw high. Comes to the front. Harford blind. Oh, no. It comes to Sean Hart. Can't beat the tackle. Into Black. A high ball. It's gone nowhere except out of bounds on the full. Free kick.
Well, the Hawthorn supporters have been questioning Daniel Harford. But here he is. 13 possessions in this last quarter. Magnificent performance. Taylor has got it between the back pocket and half-back flank. 2.5 minutes left in the game. The Hawks looking for their first win of the season. Their first win since shifting to the MCG. Good arms, good stretch by McDonald. Plenty of time. 2:20 left. McDonald's going to pump this inside 50. It's an important kick. This is an important fly. Bradshaw from behind. Loose player. Harford again. Magnificent in this last quarter. To Joel Smith, who does it well. Pinpoints it wide to Holland. Does he cover some territory? Nick Holland. It's been everywhere. It's magnificent. 10 marks today for Nick Holland. He's playing at centre-half forward. He's on the half-back flank. He's hugging the line. It's good defensive play. Dixon caught under the ball by Lawrence. Slapped out, taken by Scott. He was upended. Joel Smith. Can he set it up short? He finds Crummell. Loose player is Vandenberg. He's on the point of the square. It's been ignored. Leckers has the ball thumped away. Wonderful defensive play, Justin Leppich. Magnificent. Leckers had it. It's a one-point ball game. 15-14 the Hawks. 15-13 the Lions. Minute 25 left. Throw in on 50 for Hawthorn. To the square. Barker. It's a goal. Crummell has kicked the goal. Incredible. Brendan Crummell has kicked a magnificent goal. That's his second. He kicked one in the first quarter. And there it is, that quick snap from the boundary throw in. And look at Crummell. The look of a winner.
Barlow. It was Barlow with his arms.
Was it Barlow?
Chris Barlow.
It is Barlow. Thanks, Drew. Because Chris Barlow, what a goal. He'll remember that.
Minute and a quarter left. And Brisbane now need 2 goals to win, or 2 scores to win. Crow for the Hawks. The ground rocking here at the MCG. It's at half forward. Could you believe this? Brisbane led by 12 points at 3/4 time. And Hawthorn undermanned have overrun them. 52, 51, 50. The clock counting down all the time. And they're using up time. Chris Barlow, who's spent his recent footballing in the suburban leagues in Melbourne.
Came from Vermont.
Playing just his 18th game in the AFL. Haven't some of these youngsters stepped up today? Crummell actually became a ruckman then. Knocked it down. Hart gets it for Brisbane. Across to Martin. He goes wide. Malloy with his body work gets rid of Tallis. Keeps going Malloy. He's outnumbered 2-1, but it's going Brisbane's way. 27 seconds left. Crow caught in the tackle. Malloy's still going to the goal square. Well, he tried it for the goal square. It's out on the full, and there are 19 seconds left on the clock. Hail the Hawks!
Well, this will be a great win. This man has had 14 possessions in the last quarter. Daniel Harford to Jade Rawlings. The Hawks keep coming forward now. It's a great kick. Finds Holland. That's 11 marks. Well, Barlow, that goal in the last quarter. As the siren sounds, and Hawthorn have defeated Brisbane 16-14, 110 to Brisbane's 15-13, 103. A memorable performance by the Hawks. Look at the excitement. That man on screen, John Barker, who did 4 second-half goals. Mick Martin disappointed in his 50th game. But Johnny Barker's on the ground with Richard Osborne. Richard, you've got the hero of the second half with 4 goals.
Well, Johnny, not normally known for your goal kicking, but 4 match-winning goals, 4 second-half goals. How are you feeling?
Well, as you know, when I first got to Fitzroy, I was kicking a couple of goals, but haven't played down forward since. So was good to get down there today and kick a couple and get up and have a win.
Yeah, exactly. First win for the season. Shane Crawford, fantastic today. Again, Daniel Harford too, about 14 or 15 possessions in that last quarter. So how important is that for the club to finally get a win, a great win too?
Oh, look, it just goes to show that you can't keep good players down, especially champions like Harford and Crawford, and have a win today, get some monkey off the back, and we can have a red-hot crack at, you know, winning some more games this year.
Well, enjoy the win, mate. Join your mates. Well done and good 4 goals, boy.
Thanks, Oz.
Thanks, mate.